former lead singer of a band called Riff Raff, now on his own solo career. Chris is in the interesting situation of playing in the same club circuit as most of the punk and new wave bands. However, he is not defined himself as a new wave musician, and his music probably is closer to hard rock and roll. Just to begin with, where do you see yourself in the music world right now in the New York City club scene? Do you see yourself in competition with the punk scene?
No, not at all.
Where do you see yourself? In relationship to all the, the new waves of punk and the mainstream bands in New York?
I see myself on stage mostly.
Do you think about the audiences in the clubs? Like, do you think you can relate to the same audience that a new wave band can?
Absolutely. It's the same music, basically. I mean, they're playing 3-chord progressions, and they meaning people who consider themselves what you're saying, punk, new wave. It's the same music that's always been playing.
Most of the young new wave musicians say that they're turning to new sounds because they're bored with the old music. Would you like to react to that?
It's ridiculous.
Why?
I mean, if they're bored, that's cool. I mean, let them be bored.
But they say the old music, mainstream hard rock and roll, is now obsolete. And as a hard rock musician, would you care to respond to that? As someone who's
I'm not a hard rock musician. I'm not. I'm just me. Just like they hopefully say I'm me too. Which I mean, I'm for breaking down all those things, those symbols, punk, hard rock, new wave, all that doesn't mean anything to me.
How do you describe your music?
I describe it musically, not in words.
Do you think the same kind of audience who would go see it, like the band and Contortions we just talked to, who, cut people up on stage and things like that, do you think that they would enjoy your show?
Sure, absolutely.
Why? Do you enjoy that? Do you enjoy their show?
I only saw just one little brief moment of the show when the singer got upset and ran off stage and smashed his sound man's head.
And what was your reaction to that as a musician?
I got out of the way because they were bringing the body by, I reacted very strangely at that moment, actually. In fact, you were with me. So we both were reacting as wanting to get out of the club. I think, for me, violence like that is not acceptable in humanity.
Well, how about, do you think that that's part of, do you think that violence is necessarily part of the punk scene, or the,
No, I don't. I mean, everybody feels aggressive at certain times. Everybody has anxieties and that wants to express that. If their musical capacities are such that it comes out gunga gunga gunga, ugga ugga ugga, that's okay, because that's their expression, right? Somebody else expresses the same anxiety, the same musical drive for that expression, only they're making different music. It could be jazz, man, but it's the same thing to me, because doing it is what counts.
Chris, according to you, the new wave is just distinguished from usual rock by the 3-chord progressions, right?
No.
No.
Not exactly that.
Okay, and what do you think?
New wave is, I mean, some people call themselves new wave. I don't think that means anything.
Do you think
Generally, though, the music is 3-chord progressions. It's like it's early 60s rock and roll, and 50s, in fact.
Okay, then
well.
It's nothing new, right?
I don't think so.
Okay.
The words, maybe. I mean, the words are always new. Everybody's saying different words, but
Okay.
music.
Do you think that there's a new wave style? Do you think there's a new wave fashion? For example,
There's a new wave fashion.
The hair is different from, usual.
Usual. What do you mean? Usual than regular people walking around the streets?
No, the previous, rock eras. And
Well, not terribly. I mean, I don't think anything is that terribly different from the 1890s. I mean, the clothes they were wearing then looked pretty weird to me. I mean, or far out or anything,
So you would deny that there's a punk or new wave style in fashions or personal?
No, I'm not. I wouldn't deny that. No, because there is.
But you seem to be saying that it's no more different or freaky than style.
Right. At that moment, certain styles are just as weird and
rock came out,
right.
Just as wild. When lunar rock first came out, the style was just
It's just that. It's style.
See, I asked this question because the media exploits these, what might be very superficial to musicians.
Yes.
The punk hairstyles and the punk clothes and the safety pins and the razor blades. And that's what I wanted to know.
I think that's most of the kids that aren't in the bands that are doing safety pins and stuff.
Most of the audience there, right?
What do you,
As I've seen.
what do you as a musician doing to make sure that your rock and roll music isn't boring?
Isn't boring? I don't think about that. I just play it, I just do it. I'm not trying to, I don't think it's boring, and I'm not trying to fight against it. Pardon me?
Do you think your songs represent the same frustration that new wave music does for most of the people who
Yeah, certain subjects that I write about, sure.
for instance, such as?
For instance, a complete disdain for corporate structure. I mean, I feel like I'm a personal anarchist. That's my political view. I think that each person, eventually, each human entity will have its own power source. It won't have to look to groups, a la corporations, to be a part of, to get strength from, to sustain their life. You see. And I think that slows down the way the whole system is set up now. It slows down each person. Somehow persons break through, though, and a lot of times it's through music. It's the best that I've seen.
Now, Chris, according to a song by the Dead Boys, which is a so-called new wave band, by their definition, they say, I don't want to make money. I could make money playing corporate rock. I'd rather have nothing, rather live in hot, if I'm quoting the lyrics correctly. Now, how do you account for the fact that, unlike the new wave in film, the new wave in rock, the English new wave, has already been preempted by CBS and Sire Records, which I understand is a Warner Brothers product?
Mm-hmm.
How do you account for the fact that, like, if certain musicians are frustrated and against the capitalist system, then how come they eventually work for the capitalist system by permitting their product or their songs, whatever, to be marketed?
Because what they say is only to make those connections happen so that they will get the money and they will be real working performers. I mean, what they say is not throughout time in entertainment, everybody put down the people that were giving them the money. It was always kind of funny, you know what I mean? In lots of movies, there's the corporate guys, and the actors don't like them, and the musicians don't like the executives at the record company. Still at all, that's just something that everybody, that attitude keeps going, but it's not a real attitude. It's not affecting it. Fuck all.
Okay, listen, one more thing. A lot of people have said that the whole punk psyche of being arrogant and tough really wasn't started by punks, but that most of like the late 60s rockers like Jagger and Eric Burdon all went around with the same arrogant attitude. That that they really were the punks. That most of the punks are just trying to emulate.
What do you mean really were the punks? They were punks then. They had those attitudes then. They changed, man. Now it's other people that have the same attitudes. We all have those attitudes, I think. I feel that now sometimes. There's that aggressive tendency of those anxious anxieties and things. But at the moment, the Stones epitomize that feeling, we'll say, right? Now it's whoever it is.
I